Morning, Robin. Good morning, Eileen. Is that you?
Hi.
It is you. Good.
Yeah, I can't see anything, so I don't know who's talking.
Just wanted to make sure I wasn't promoting someone from outside of our community. I'll leave it at that. So far, it's just the three of us, so this may be a very casual conversation.
I can't see. Is that Ellen who just joined? Ellen Lair?
No, it's Eileen Mooney.
Oh, hello. Mark, did you meet with Ellen yesterday?
I did. Yeah, I met with Ellen, and that's actually one of the topics I have on my list to talk about is this new residence initiative. And she had some ideas for, oh, here comes. Here comes Betsy.
I can't see anything on my screen.
Robin, you're able to see me?
Yes.
Okay, and I can see you.
Eileen, are you talking from are you calling in from a cell phone?
No, I'm calling into my landline, but I have Zoom on.
On your computer?
Yeah.
I don't, you haven't popped up in the waiting room yet, Eileen. So your Zoom account is not in, you're not on the meeting at this point.
Oh, all right. Let's figure out why.
Betsy,
Okay.
Betsy, are you there?
I don't see Betsy.
Oh. Yay. Okay.
There you are.
Hi, Robin. Hi, Mark.
Betsy, is that you?
I see Betsy's name, but I don't see Betsy's face. And Eileen, do you have your video turned on?
Yes, but I don't have a camera
Ah,
or a microphone on my computer.
Oh, finally. Wow.
There you are, Betsy.
That was really hard.
I'm sorry. I'm so gun shy with allowing people in after that last incident we had.
Yeah.
So I appreciate your patience. I'm just letting people in slowly right now as they come through.
Okay.
Okay.
Mark, do you have it set just to the United States or do you allow, so can you add Mexico so Richard can join, do you think?
Oh, that's a good thought. I didn't even think of that. Is he trying to get in right now?
I know I have a Zoom with him after and I know he's in Mexico. So usually I just have to do United States and then I have to add Mexico.
Okay, let me see if I can.
I'll text him and see if he's planning to join. I know I have a Zoom with him and Tim at 11:30.
Okay.
It does. It usually works. Hang on.
Okay. Morning, Katie.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm Film Society again. Sorry, it's me,
No,
Kate
that's okay.
Orenstein, but I run the Dartmouth Film Society. I forgot to switch out of that Zoom. I'm Kate Orenstein, not Mysterious Film Society. Thanks.
I knew who you were when I saw you pop up in the waiting room. So it looks like it's going to be a small group. I will try to keep my eye on the participant list and let people in as they join. I have a feeling a few more will join us along the way, but just want to say good morning. I won't introduce myself. I think I know everyone on this call, but I wanted to get started with a few updates and then open it up to a casual conversation. So first thing on my list for this morning to discuss is the new residence initiative. This is something we've talked about a few times on these calls, and I'm excited to report that we're very, very close to the I guess I shouldn't say finish line since it's just the beginning of this process, but we're close to the finish line on sending these letters out to residents. And I apologize. This was something that I was really excited about and looking forward to launching a few months ago, but during the budget season, I had to really focus my time and energy on the budget and our capital budget and programs for the coming fiscal year. So this was pushed aside. But that said, we have a final letter drafted. We have the mail merge completed at this point, and we are ready to print and mail those letters. So I'm hoping those were going to leave my office later this week. And we have, early next week, and we have a press release in the works right now announcing this initiative. They should go out later this week. So timing wise, my plan is to get the word out there to new residents through our Facebook page, through our new Instagram account, which I'll circle back to in a minute, through our traditional media outlets and on our webpage, giving folks a heads up that something may be coming their way. Maybe it will, my hope is that they'll hear about it through a press release or a social media post first. And then when the letter does arrive on their doorstep, they'll know what it is and reach out to us and try to connect. So we have a new,
Are you gonna,
sorry, go ahead, Betsy.
are you gonna mail our magazines with, are you gonna mail our magazines with them?
So that's something I wanted to talk to you about. Hang on, I have two more people in the. Good morning, Ellen.
Okay,
Good morning, Tim.
Richard's not joining.
Okay. So Betsy, I think when we originally talked, I was expecting maybe something like a tri-fold brochure or something that we could put in a standard envelope. For us to mail the magazine out, we have to move up to much larger envelopes, and of course, the postage cost for us goes from 50 cents to $1.50 or something like that. So I don't think we'll be doing that.
Okay,
So I'm happy to, if you would like those brochures back, I'd like to get them back to you. Otherwise, we'll distribute them in the lobby here.
I think distributing the lobby would be great. And if there's some reference in the letter to people saying, this chamber has brochures in the lobby, which could direct you in all different, help you with all different connections or things you're looking for, please stop in and grab one. That would be helpful.
Betsy,
We can do that.
we also took the extra cases that I had, Betsy, and we brought them around to the banks. So maybe Mark, you could also reference or in the lobby at your local bank branch. So we brought them to the several of the mortgage people, Betsy, and asked when they do in-person closing that they hand them out that way too.
We've asked that too. It doesn't really happen, but we've asked it.
Yeah, we got a couple of people that said they would, but it's anyhow.
Okay,
The
good.
banks have them.
Yeah, and just to let you know, Betsy, it wasn't because I didn't want to promote the chamber. Of course, it was just hard for me with a very, very limited postage budget to
Yeah, that's okay.
triple
I
the cost
understand.
of it. Yeah.
Right.
So I apologize, but I will do my best to distribute those in our lobby. We're going to be reopening our front doors to town buildings on Monday, the 15th. So we expect traffic to resume in all of our town buildings, even our library and possibly our Council on Aging Senior Center at some point soon. So again, just super excited to get that letter out, and I apologize that it's taken so long. But I think we're there, and we're about to mail those out early next week. Ellen, I will work with and Katie on getting the press release out in advance again, so people can expect that letter. And what else? Outdoor dining. I know this is another topic we've covered several times in these chats. But I am really excited about what's coming down the road for spring. I'm excited for an expanded and hopefully, I don't know how to put this. I'm really looking forward to improving the atmosphere of our outdoor dining this year. We did what we could last year with the construction materials we had. But this year I'm really excited that we'll be installing some festive lighting and planters and really softening up the downtown dining this year. We're installing some temporary crosswalks. That was something that came up over and over again last year with people crossing Railroad Street in various locations and not having any real delineated crossing areas. So something that we are certainly concerned with, safety. And I guess the last thing I wanted to mention related to outdoor dining is something that we'll be presenting on March 8th to the select board, and that's a new program called Berkshire Busk, which is a music program for the coming summer season. It's really the result of many not many winter meetings, but some winter meetings and the hard work of some volunteers here in Great Barrington that have been soliciting donations and looking for performers to perform in various locations so that we can build on the momentum we built last year, having the bandstand programming in addition to Railroad Street programming, in addition to Eric Brune's musical performances on Friday and Saturday nights outside of SoCo. And this would expand that into other areas of Main Street so that we can really keep our downtown area vibrant and active this summer. And I'm super excited about it. You know, now we have some experience from last year and we had the winter to do some planning. So I think we're in for a really exciting summer. So that's all I have. I guess what I'll do now is just open up the conversation to you all, and so I can stop talking and hear from you. Anybody have anything to
I might have
share
missed
this morning? Go ahead, Tim.
the days
I
of
just,
now.
I caught an Instagram post, I guess yesterday, that I thought was great, and I salute that and encourage you to have a high presence on Instagram for the town. I think it's a great addition to the other things you're doing.
Tim, thanks. I got your text message last night, but by the time I saw it, it was almost 11 and I don't know how early you go to bed. I didn't want to wake you up and respond.
Not very.
Credit goes to Katie and Ellen on this project. So go ahead, Katie.
I'm so glad to hear that. That's good feedback is good feedback. Make sure you're following both GB Cultural and Town of Great Barrington, because I've described it as a Jekyll and Hyde situation because I am both accounts, but they are doing different things and talking to each other. So
Can you share your contact information?
yes, you can find me at social@townofgb.org. That's the email for all things social. I check that every day. And that's me. And so I'm really glad to hear that. We're going to be doing more. We're at 240 followers on the town Instagram, which for 2 weeks is amazing. And we're going to be doing more. And if there's a specific town history story you want on the Instagram, that's something in particular I'm looking for. Whereas for the cultural district Instagram, that's more featuring businesses, featuring sort of types of businesses and programming that's going on, and possibly all kinds of stuff, more promoting town businesses. Town of Great Barrington is news and information from town hall. But yeah, I'm so glad to hear that. I'm open to anything at social@townofgb. Thank you.
Okay.
Katie, I hate to put you on the spot, but I'm curious, would you just talk a little bit about what you're doing as far as getting our accounts verified, trying to build our social media presence? And
Yeah. Verification, you've probably seen an account on whatever social media you use that has some kind of symbol next to it, proving that it's the real deal. If you follow a celebrity on Twitter or Instagram, you'll see a blue check next to their name that proves that it's the actually them account. And there's a number of municipalities that have gotten this. Town of Great Barrington, especially the Facebook, is sharing public health information. And so I've tried to make the case to Facebook that we should be verified. It would have been, it also will be good if, God forbid, the declaration thing ever comes back again. This will prove that it's really us saying whatever we need to say, or if anything of that nature occurs. So it's just a legitimacy thing, but it's all part of the Facebook, Instagram internal processes. So once I write my little, it's like applying for college. You write your little paragraph, you upload some pictures, and then you pray. So we'll see. Fingers crossed on that one. But yeah, that's just a attempt at legitimacy. And then I haven't quite fully unleashed my laundry list of ways to promote the Instagram's existence. But what Ellen's been doing is sharing it into the unofficial town Facebook group that, of course, is not very much not run by town, but we've been getting some people there. So thank you, Ellen, so much for doing that. And then I think I'll be sharing it on things like the Hill email group, things like that. Maybe just letting Josh Landis at WAMC know it exists, that sort of thing. You know, Instagram usership skews a little younger than Facebook generally worldwide, but I think up here a lot of people are on a lot of things, which is great. So wherever we're reaching someone with good information is good. Yeah, that's the deal there. So hopefully we get little check marks next to our names. If we don't, it's okay. Thanks all.
Thanks, Katie. You know, our social media presence and expanding our social media presence, I think is one of the silver linings of this pandemic, along with virtual meetings like this. You know, people are wanting more information from the town and looking for it. And this provides us some alternative ways to share information. So anyone else this morning?
Mark, I missed it with the dining for the summer. What are the hours going to be? Has that been determined?
We have not determined hours yet. I think last year it was 5 o'clock is when we started setting up and moving cars if we had to from Railroad Street. So I think dining actually started at 6 p.m. and went until 10 p.m.
And
But-
is it Friday, Saturday, Sunday? I'm sorry, the summer seems like ages.
Last summer was Friday and Saturday nights, and we're discussing whether or not we could expand that to Sunday nights as well. I think some of the restaurants would like to see that happen, and we'd be happy to. The problem is I need to be able to figure out a way to fit that into the budget. It's very expensive for the town to have a crew come in. You know, it's overtime, so it's time and a half for our crew to come in. They have to work in a minimum of pairs according to our union contract. And I believe it costs us somewhere in the range of $500 to $1,000 a day to have them come in. So I want to make sure that if we do expand to Sunday, that we have the resources available within our budget to do that. We were able to fund a good portion of that last year through the Shared Streets and Spaces grant. And my hope is that this year we'll be able to do that again and expand just through Sunday. So
I thought we talked about having the businesses help out with that so that you didn't incur that cost.
Right.
If each restaurant committed to a night or a weekend or what have you, and it was their responsibility to place everything out and then pull everything back in at set time.
Mhm.
I thought we talked about
that is absolutely something I'd like to explore, because we could do it even more than 2-3 nights a week if the restaurants are willing to chip in. We're going to try to make it as easy as possible. I'm just not quite there yet. The planters that we're looking at right now are on casters, and the thought is that we'd be able to roll them maybe up against buildings during the week when they're not in use, and they would still look beautiful, and as long as they're not blocking access to pedestrians or doorways and whatnot. But my thought is that if we are able to use these along Railroad Street and Main Street, and the business owners are willing to roll them over and set them up, we could certainly expand this program. So at some point, maybe later this month, or actually maybe the best time to do it would be the next virtual coffee in April, since we're going to be very close to spring at that point, and we'll be further down the road with our plans for these planters by that point, and I'll have a really good idea what they're going to look like, how easy they are to move or how difficult they are to move. But I would love to have that conversation with our business community if there's a way you could circle some folks up on your end, Betsy.
Yeah.
And if you have an opportunity to join the March 8th meeting, which is this coming Monday, we'll be discussing there'll be a presentation and a very brief slideshow on the Berkshire bus program for the upcoming season. Which should really complement our existing music program and also the outdoor dining. Anyone else?
Just so you know, I didn't get the email for this meeting. We actually found it somewhere. So I don't know if information about each meeting is going to the people that normally attend, or I couldn't find it either. I checked my emails.
Yeah, I need to be better about that. I'm sorry. At one time I had committed to developing a list and I just didn't do that. I had a very, very small list of folks that were attending regularly, and I need to just get an email list built so that we can remind people. We have been sharing the information through our website, through Facebook, and now Instagram, but it would be good to get a reminder out to folks. Would a calendar invite be helpful? Because we use the same link every time.
Yes, it would.
Oh, yeah.
Also, I found it by searching on the town website. Is there a possibility of just putting a tab on the landing page?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that, Robin.
I also did not get an email, so I went to Town of GB and I searched virtual coffee. My question is it possible, instead of making the user search, to put it as a tab on the landing page?
Or a button.
No.
It should be coming up right in the news on the homepage, but Ellen, you have your hand up. Did you have a comment on this?
Hi, yes, I can answer a couple of quick questions here about the virtual town manager coffees. They are on the town calendar, and the town calendar has a link right on the homepage, and they are listed as a standing event on the first Monday of every month. We have limited space for tabs at the top of the homepage. And so we just put the new residents tab up, but the calendar has a standing link. The other thing I just wanted to remind you all of, because I know you're all interested in the new residents initiative, there is a page on the website now for new residents. There's a tab there on the homepage. And if you all, as you know, pre-existing town residents, want to go to that page, there will be a link to sign up for email notifications about these upcoming meetings. So you too can also be on that mailing list. So like if 2 weeks from now there's a Zoom meeting scheduled with new people and you want to participate, just make sure to put yourselves on the list.
I have a question about that. So Ellen, we have one scheduled. Maybe I'm a little confused. We should go to the newcomers one and register ourselves, even though
If
we're
you
not-
want to be informed of any events or upcoming activities,
Okay.
because they are targeted to that group, then you might not think to go sign up, but clearly people in the community want to introduce themselves to new residents. So just that link is pending. I don't think that link is quite ready yet. I think Town Hall is working on getting it, but once it's ready, we can, I'm sure Mark can let you know that that's live and you should go check it and sign up.
Mark, is this-
There isn't a meeting scheduled just yet. There is not a Zoom meeting on the calendar just yet.
Mark, are we talking about the same thing here?
Yeah, I had separate conversations with you, Robin, and Alan about adding that little checkbox in the information selection panel. we have to work with Civic Plus, so it's going to take me a couple of days. This was just this week. I had both of these conversations, so it's going to take a few more days for us to get that up, but it's in the works.
Okay, can I ask a totally separate question? This
Sure,
is
go ahead.
from Richard. His connection isn't good and he couldn't get in. So he wants to know, when will we receive tax abatements? When will they be processed?
That's a good question. I know the Board of Assessors are meeting regularly now to review those abatement applications. There's a little hiccup in the process at the moment since we do not have a principal assessor, but we have the position advertised and we're conducting interviews beginning tomorrow. So I hope to have that position filled very soon, but the process is moving slower than past years.
Thanks.
But they are all in the assessor pipeline right now.
Thank you.
Hey,
Sure.
Mark. Oh, you said earlier that town hall and possibly the library are going to reopen in some capacity on the 15th. Could you speak to more what that will look like? I'm assuming, of course, masks are still super required and all that. And maybe what library services will be available?
Sure. So I had a department head meeting this morning at 9 o'clock, and that was one of the topics of conversation, reopening town buildings. I did give my staff a warning, heads up, maybe a week ago, letting them know that based on the numbers I was seeing, I couldn't really justify keeping town buildings closed much longer. We've had a few weeks without a single case of COVID in town, only 4 in the county. So it really doesn't make sense to keep the doors closed for much longer. So that said, it's a little easier for some buildings. I can't just take the same approach for opening all of our buildings. Some buildings, for example, the police department, town hall, it's as simple as just opening the doors. And our staff is prepared for that. Now we could do that easily. For some buildings like the senior center and the libraries, it's a little more complicated. So I'm working with those department heads to come up with a plan for reopening. I don't know exactly what that will look like right now, but I can tell you, for example, the library will probably be open for book and video pickups and drop-offs, but not necessarily open for full browsing. So it will be some hybrid approach, at least at that facility. I don't anticipate reopening the Ramsdale Library at this time. The air exchanges in that building are not up to the standards we would like to see them at before we reopen to the public. But I will say the boiler is being replaced in that building, so we should be there shortly.
That's really good to hear. And is that 15th number, is that public knowledge already? So, I mean, you're saying it here, so it's kind of out there.
It's out there now, but no, I would like to work with you and Ellen about getting the word out there.
Exactly what I was thinking. Yeah.
I just had a conversation literally an hour ago with my staff, so
Okay, gotcha.
News hasn't traveled that fast yet, but that's my plan, is to reopen in some capacity at each of these buildings by Monday, the 15th.
Okay, great. And then the other thing is, obviously with vaccinations, we're in limbo whenever the state decides to move us into the next phase. That's not something we really can control, but fingers crossed, eventually we move into like another letter phase or phase 2, which as I understand it, is similar to New York in that it's comorbidities. And so that's like a much wider group of people. What will be will it be at the middle school, and what will be the, it's an online portal, right? To get the appointment?
That's my understanding, yes. And as far as I know, the clinics aren't being run by the town of Great Barrington. They're being run and managed by Fairview Hospital.
Gotcha.
And the Southern Berkshire Regional Emergency Planning Committee. I'm trying to think of what the acronym is.
Yeah.
But, it's not a town-sponsored clinic. So my understanding, at least as of today, is that these will continue at the middle school.
Okay, good to know. Thank you.
And based on my working history here with the town, I think one of the reasons why these are working so well and working so well at the middle school is because we have a lot of practice doing this. We've been doing seasonal flu clinics for a decade now. So everyone knows how this works. All the players have a lot of experience, and it seems to be working really well. From what I understand, Berkshire County is ahead of other communities and other counties in the state because, we're used to doing flu clinics in this way, working together with our neighbors in a way that other communities don't necessarily have to. So, Ellen, did you have your hand up again, or did I just never put it?
Yes, no, I just wanted to respond to the vaccine questions.
Sure, go ahead.
Basically what you said is true, is accurate, Mark. GetVaccinated.Berkshires.org is the central registration point for vaccination throughout Berkshire County. There are also some pharmacies that are involved in vaccination, but they're not listed on that state website. So if you want to check out pharmacy options, there are some that are participating in vaccination. But the town is, when it comes to COVID vaccination, we do have the information on the town website, but basically what it does is it links out to the state data and updates about travel advisories, business, et cetera. And also it links out to GetVaccinated.Berkshires.org. The town isn't independently maintaining all of that data, but we're providing updated links to the information that's out there. But GetVaccinated.Berkshires.org is the place to go. It's a bit of a challenge to sign up for a vaccine, but be persistent when it's your turn.
And we're also expecting a pretty significant shipment of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine this week. So that is rolling out, and super exciting to have another vaccine on the market so that we can vaccinate as many people as possible. I think Heather Barberry at the hospital said something in the range of 1,000 doses of Johnson & Johnson are coming our way. So very exciting. Anyone else? Go ahead, Tim.
Just a question. Is it appropriate in terms of the policy you have about the use of the Instagram and Facebook pages that the town runs to post the vaccine information we were just talking about? Is that an appropriate topic
Absolutely.
for those venues, those channels?
Katie, did you have something that?
Well, currently, if you go to the Instagram and click the link in bio, like the second or third thing you'll see is the town page. That's all the COVID resources. And my eyes may have glazed over, but I think that Get Vaccinated Berkshire site is there. I could be wrong. Again, I not been doing a good job of keeping tabs on that. Yeah, and then I think you're right that Fairview has been putting out good stuff about this. Absolutely. I just, I want to get everything right before I tell anyone anything. This is a tricky one. Bit of a big deal. But yeah, absolutely. And that's I should prioritize that.
Mark?
Yeah.
Hi. Yeah, regarding that, just to add to what Katie said, the vaccine information changes every day in terms of clinics being available, clinics being full, it's time to sign up, it's this, it's that. It's very much of a moving target, and there's just no way that the town can keep up with every change that's happening out there in that sphere. So that's why we're linking from the town out to out to those sites. If there's something that we get wind of that we can share on social media, we will, but chances are by the time people read it, it will have changed. So that's why I've been somewhat reluctant to do a whole lot of sharing about, what's the status of the latest vaccine clinic. So that's just my only caveat to that. If there's some, at some point, there's some more consistent, reliable information about vaccination access, then we would definitely share it. And we are in touch with the health department in town. And we are sharing regular updates from the town health department about issues related to COVID. So we have to leave the details to the outsiders who are actually handling vaccine schedules, appointments, phases, et cetera.
That's not exactly what I was driving at.
Oh, clarify and I'll try to respond.
Sure. I'm operating under the assumption that all of the citizens in Berkshire County or in Great Barrington are not
Yeah.
aware of the link that we're talking about. GetVaccinated.Berkshires.org. If everyone knows that, what I'm going to say is pointless. If they don't, just a periodic post that says, "Hey, have you been vaccinated? Do you need not a link, just a reminder. If you need information, go to that address as a periodic post."
Oh, absolutely, Tim. That's totally reasonable. And we have periodically done that, but we can do that a little bit more. And
Yeah, I think one of the
Catherine
things I've heard
and
is
Katie and I, yeah, but it's pretty widespread out there. But you're right. Not everybody's going to know. But anybody who's got technology right now is probably going to be barraged with that these days with regards to that website. But we can always keep people reminding them, please check, please check. Yes.
Betsy, can you put that in the newsletter? Betsy?
I'm pretty sure we have it in there already. Get vaccinated. Yeah, we have it in there already. Same with these meetings though. So I totally get it. It's not, you can go to the Town of Great Barrington webpage. You can go to the calendar. It's there. It's the first Wednesday of the month. I totally get all that. But just because everybody's life is chaotic and we have about 8 different meetings that happen a certain day during the month, if we want more people to join into this group, then we need to let them know. And I'm happy to pass that along, but I just probably need a reminder also.
Yeah.
Well,
think
we do have, we did put up a reminder yesterday on social media that this was happening, and we always try to put up a reminder a couple of days ahead. Again, we're relying on social media, for that, and not everybody's on social media, of course, but we're not going to be sending out press releases every time there's a meeting.
No, I think it's maybe a better approach would be to send a standing calendar invite to at least the people that we know like to attend on a regular basis. And that
Mark,
Mark,
we could ask Civic Plus to put a tab in that, long checklist of boxes.
Mhm.
That would work too.
Mhm.
And then that would go out to people who subscribe for updates.
Yeah. Yeah, I find these really helpful, and I hope they're helpful for you folks. I know my schedule is very busy. I go from meeting to meeting to meeting all day, and this is a real nice opportunity to be able to connect with people and just block out this hour so that you have my undivided attention. And it's really good for me to hear your feedback. I think some really excellent initiatives have come from these conversations. So
I think you should promote the hell out of it. Do the list you're talking about and then just keep growing the list.
yeah, I agree. So I will get an email invite out to you folks for the April meeting.
All right. Just so the town knows, that it directly affects the town, but obviously it's a big impact. The Chamber's doing 3 new things, which we're in the process of doing. One is a Shop, Eat, Spend Southern Berkshire's gift card, which any of our members that are signed up to be a part of that gift card people will be able to use the gift card in any of those shops or restaurants or what have you. I think we're up to 34 or 35 businesses right now. And once we hit 50 signed up, then we're just going to do a big press release and do all that.
Great.
So that's one thing that we're trying to keep money circling local. The second thing is we're going to start a pay-per-view series. We're going to start with the chefs of the Berkshires, and we're going to go into the different restaurants and film them creating their favorite dish or the restaurant's noted dish. And then that's going to go on a pay-per-view series, which will probably end up being about 13 or 14 hour-long shows. So people can buy one show and just watch their favorite restaurant, or they can buy the whole thing. So that will impact how people are viewing, especially in Great Barrington, because there's so many restaurants. And the third thing we're doing is we've taken the name Tour the Berkshires, and we're creating tour packages. Each package has 4 seasons, and each package in each 4 seasons has 5 options to tour. So you could be a local person that just wants to do the tour here, or it can go all the way to somebody that arrives on a bus and has no transportation and has to be brought everywhere. So those 3 things can impact the town of Great Barrington in different ways, but there's certainly, certainly it's something you guys should know is happening, so that when somebody says something about it, you're aware of it.
Great. Can you expand a little bit on the first topic you covered, the e-shop?
Yep. Right, so the Southern Berkshire, it's actually, we signed with a company called Yifty. Yifty, all they do is what they call community cards. So one, like they do the Denver, Colorado does a gift card. The whole purpose is keep money local. So if somebody buys $100 gift card, $100 goes back into the local economy, because it only goes to the shops that are registered to be a part of that gift card. So in the end, I think we'll probably have about 60 shops registered. So let's say I went online and I bought a gift for somebody. I bought a $100 gift card. That gets emailed to them, which also can be housed on their phone. So then I go into Robin's Candy and I buy $30 worth of candy. I use my phone, I show her the number, she types it in. It goes to her just like it would a MasterCard sale. So just as she takes MasterCard, it's going to go the same way. It's going to go to her bank identically. Then I could go down the road and I could go to GB Eats and I could have lunch. Then I can go down to Ward's Nursery and I could buy a plant. Until that total is run out, I can keep using that card in any of the participating businesses.
Will there be any
we don't-
physical card, or is it all electronic?
It's all electronic, which at first I was kind of thinking, I don't know if I like this. But the couple of good points that they pointed out were, you're never going to lose this money. Unlike a gift card, if you go to Big Y and you buy a gift card for somebody, one of the very last lines on the back says, treat this as you would cash, because if it is lost, it cannot be replaced. So this is different. If there's any problem with this gift card, the information's housed with Yifty. They can just cancel out that gift card and reissue a new gift card. So you're not losing your money, or the person's not losing their money.
So is this like this is actually really exciting. Is this kind of like the PayPal of Berkshires here? Is that where you're going with this? Like an electronic way to exchange money locally?
No, not necessarily. I really would have preferred to have an actual card. But this is just the way they do it. And this company was the easiest to deal with. Everybody else was just a nightmare. And that's the only way they service the card. They only do an e-card. So I thought, all right, people seem to be doing it. Right now, everybody's taking phone orders, and what do? They take a credit card number over the phone, they type it into their machine, it goes to their bank like it normally would. So that's kind of the same situation. Unfortunately, there's not a card to swipe or put in, but it's just like a phone order. They're just going to punch in the numbers and put in your sale amount.
I'll
So-
just say, we tested it for Betsy when it first started, and it was very easy. It worked
Yeah.
seamlessly, right, Betsy? Yeah, we were very
Yeah.
impressed.
That's excellent. So
So-
where will you be promoting this? I know
Well-
you said you're going to wait until you get about 50 businesses
Right.
involved, but
I did about 3 yesterday, so we're about 34, 35, maybe even a little higher. So as soon as we hit right around 50, because I don't want to start it with and say to people, we only have these few shops. I would like to say, here's 50 shops and counting. Every day we're adding new stores. And so we'll do it in the Shoppers, we'll do it in the Edge, we'll do it in the Eagle, we'll do it, all the different, through our social media. We'll pass it along to everybody else's social media. We'll do it that way.
we'd be happy to
and-
share that on our pages as well. So
Okay, great. So it's going to be called Shop, Eat, Spend, Southern Berkshires e-card. And we picked that because that's our hashtag. The stores don't incur any money other than their normal MasterCard charge. The chamber does not incur any costs. The people that are incurring costs is the person purchasing the gift certificate. So if you buy a $50 gift certificate, you're going to pay $1.30 in a charge. So that's how the program works. And once we get it all operational, we're looking for sponsors like a bank or a business that would then sponsor. So if you buy a $100 gift card, you get a $20 gift card free until those funds run out. So once we get that orchestrated, hopefully we can keep circulating more money around.
Excellent. That's really great.
I'll send you the information on it just so you can read it.
So can people at this point now purchase a Shop, Eat, Spend Berkshires?
Not
Card?
today, only because we're putting a new button on the home page of our website. Actually, we're putting 3 new buttons. So across the middle of our website now will be a red button that says pay-per-view, yellow button that says Shop, Eat, Spend, e-card, and the third button that says Tour the Berkshires. And those 3 buttons are going to take them to separate pages so they can purchase the gift card or purchase a tour
So
or purchase the pay-per-view.
Will all sales, I'm sorry, I have so many questions. I'm
That's
just
fine.
excited about this. Will all sales be through the chamber website?
Correct. So it'll go from our button to the Yifty site. So Yifty is the company that houses and manages all of it. And it's backed by MasterCard. So it'll go through our website. And we would have loved to, we met with Brochures because we realized this impacts them a little bit. And it's kind of doing something similar to what they're hoping to do, except it's a little bit easier because it's right on your phone. And we met with them and they are working on something to get the local banks to come together and house, kind of like Yifty does, house a program that would do these gift cards. And I let them know as soon as you guys get that all situated, I'll switch over. I don't have an issue with switching over. But we're really striving to keep money circulating local. So every time somebody says, I got to get a gift for somebody, but I just don't know what to get. Well, you get this gift and you can go 50, 60 different places. Just makes it way easier.
That's really exciting.
Can you say more about this tour, the tours?
At the tours in the end, we'll have about 12 tours. Each one has a theme to it. Most of them are weekend orientated. A few of them will be midweek orientated, like Made in the Berkshires, because people making something are making it during the week. Each tour has a season because things change each season. And then each tour can be toured 5 different ways. So it can be all the way from I arrive on a bus, you've got to pick me up, you've got to take me to lodging, you've got to take me to every single thing. Or I drove my car here, but I want to still take the bus and drive around, or I'm going to drive myself around to the tour, or a local person that would like to hop on the bus and do the tour or the van, or a local person that would just like to drive to all the locations. So you have multiple options. The one, oddly, the first tour that we're just in the process of getting ready to sign contracts with everybody is touring and tasting of the Berkshires. So it'll go, there's 3 different hotels for each for each tour. So let's just say they're going to come in and they're going to stay at the Egremont Village Inn. They're going to have dinner at the barn. They're going to do music and bonfire. The next day they're going to get up. They might do the zip line. They're going to go to, trying to think, remember where I think I had them at the marketplace for lunch. Then they're going to go to the Pass for a tour. Then they're going to go to Big Elm for a tour. Then they're going to go to the distillery for a tour. Then they're going to go to Old Mill for dinner. The next morning they get up, they have breakfast in wherever the location is that they're staying. If it's a bus person leaving, we get them to the bus. So it just keeps going on like that. And each season's a little different.
It's fantastic. Great.
Yeah.
Great.
Can I ask who's producing the films on the chef recipes?
You're looking at it. So we purchased a tripod. It's called Smove, SMOVE. And when you put your iPhone in there and you click on your subject, the tripod follows the subject. So we're gonna do that, video the chefs, depending on what they select to do. We'll either have them prep and have aside all the measured ingredients. If it's a short thing, then we'll show them prepping, or they might have multiple things. And then we will edit on Splice, and then we will upload to YouTube. And then we have trying to remember the name, it always throws me. We have a company that literally takes the video and sets it into a process where then people can go and pay for tickets. So it'll either pop up and you'll pay $15 for one episode at, wherever, John Andrews, or then you see the 13 episodes, you can buy all 13 and save money. So that's going to go. And then whatever's the profit from that, half of it goes to the chamber, half of it gets split amongst all the chefs or all the restaurants.
Great. If we can do anything on the town side to help promote any of these initiatives, let us know.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Anyone else?
I'm going to jump off. Thank you very much, Mark. It's great.
Yeah, thank you all. I think it's about time. We're approaching an hour. So thank you all. I will get an invite out to everyone for our April meeting.
Terrific. Thank you.
Take care, everyone. Have a good day.
day.